Stories from the Tabernacle by May Moore. Stage directions for the story of Moses. So from this perspective, this is where you would sit to tell the story, and this is where your audience would sit over here. Now in the story of Moses, I have just used some of the wood pieces that we already had. So I chose this person to play Moses, and then I grabbed a couple other people to be the people of God. And then I found these figures to be Moses' wife and his two sons that are born in Midian. So you can find any people that you want to kind of play those characters. What's really important to this story is having the three silhouettes from Moses. So I cut them out of felt. This is my first silhouette, and it's just sort of a blue, rounded person silhouette. And so when I talk about Moses being one of the people of God, I use this silhouette, and I set it on the ground in front of him. And then when we talk about Moses also being a prince of Egypt, I cut this red silhouette and I made it look like he has a little crown. So when I say he's also a prince of Egypt, I put down this silhouette in front of him. And then when he's a shepherd in Midian, this is the silhouette that I use for Midian. He looks like he has a shepherd's staff. So the key to this story is Moses's three silhouettes that we put down at different points. And I put them down at a little semicircle. You can see that's how it looks. And then I place Moses right in front. So it looks like he has these three shadows, but the people who are going to see it best are your audience out that way. I also made a little felt burning bush, and it happened to be that one of my kids had made this little Moses craft and brought home a little baby. It looks like they put a little nut and glued it inside a walnut shell and glued a little cotton and a little blanket over it. So I just happened to use this as my baby Moses in the story. That was very convenient. Okay, I'm going to move these pieces off and I'm going to walk you through how the story begins. The story starts with the people of God, and we're going to put them over here in this corner, and it says, that their children had children. So you start with maybe one or two people, and then you add them. So their children had children. There we go. So there were more and more of them. Oh, wait, oops. That's going to be Moses' wife later. Okay, more and more of them like that. And then one family tried to send their baby to safety in the river. So then you put however you were doing your baby. It starts with the brown. I have brown felt underneath, and then it starts with the blue river all the way down. And the blue river needs to be two different pieces of fabric so that you can fold it back when the people are going to go through. But let's start with it folded down. So then you have Moses, and he goes down the river towards the audience. And then when the princess takes him out, instead of using a princess figure, I kind of like just taking him out and kind of cradling him in your hands as if the princess kind of drew him out and cradled him in her hands. It's a little less cluttered. Sometimes I like to minimize the number of figures. All right, and then Moses grows up, so you remove that piece, and then you place grown-up Moses. And then this is when you make the first sort of presentation of all of his silhouettes. So here he is. This is to show that he's one of the people of God and set it out in front of him. And then to say that he's also an Egyptian prince, you put that silhouette. So that's how it looks. The silhouettes are just out in front of him, and then he stands in front of them. And then Moses is going to go away to Midian. So we'll pick up the silhouettes and we'll move him out to this corner. And in Midian, he will get married and have his two children. We'll place them out here. And then we're going to present the three silhouettes this time. We're going to present that he is one of the people of God, and he's an Egyptian prince. And we're going to add the silhouette that he is also a shepherd in Midian. So those are right front looking at your audience. And after that, God's going to speak to him through the burning bush. So we'll place the burning bush. And this is when God says, like, I see all of these things that you are. And so I like to kind of put my hand over it, like, I see all of these things, who you are, Moses, with your sort of multiple silhouettes. And you're just the leader that I have called to lead my people to freedom. So then Moses comes back to the Israelites. And he leads them this way. And they come to the river. This is when you open it, the two pieces of fabric, and then Moses can lead the people through.